More and more tells the story of how Jongyang is able to convince the girls to bite into the apple, give in to their sins, which will lead eventually to them being kicked out of the Garden of Eden. In the story, it seems that Jongyang is representing the snake and Mina is representing Eve, as she is the first one to bite into the apple. In the Bible, the snake doesn't actually represent a real snake, but Satan in disguise, which is in this case Jongyang. She got pricked by a rose thorn, and as thorns represent sin, she is now completely given into her sins, and she's trying to get the girls to do the same thing too, by using the apple. And her plan worked. The girls bit the apple, they were banned from the Garden of Eden and sent to Earth, and in more and more, they seem to be quite happy with that. But in Can't Stop Me, we will see that giving into your sins does have consequences. The video starts off with the members being in a transitional state between two worlds, the Garden of Eden and Earth. They are in the same water pond we saw in More and More, but this time they emerge from a red lotus flower, which is a symbol of rebirth. The next scene, both their light and dark alter egos are sitting at a large table, being separated by a red line. Crossing a line symbolizes the point at which someone's behavior is no longer acceptable. Crossing a red line especially has drastic consequences, as red is the color of danger and blood. The flowers on the table are spider lilies, which represent death and are used as guidance for passing to the afterlife. The dark side of the table has plenty of food and wine to indulge in, while the light side has empty plates. The members acknowledge their dark alter egos and know they are getting closer to giving in to them, but they are still turning their backs on them and refuse to give in just yet, because they know it's bad. We see Mina, who represents Eve, portraying the color white, which is the color of purity and innocence. Sana is walking towards a cliff's edge, literally to the point of no return. The world she is now in is still green and fertile and beautiful. We see cherry blossom petals on the ground, which represent new beginnings. Both the flower petals and the flock of birds flying behind her go the opposite direction she wants to go. As birds are often seen as guardian angels, it means going the opposite direction of them is going the wrong direction. Chaeyoung's eyes are two different colors. One eye is light and one eye is dark. This can represent that she has insight in both heaven and earth. She has a red laser, representing the red border between good and evil, moving over her face, showing a shift towards her darker eye. Chio in this story represents God. She is dressed in a blue dress and sitting on a table that still has a white line on it. There are glasses of water on the table and the table is shaking. Behind her is a storm going on. She here represents God inducing the great flooding in the Bible, which was supposed to wash away all the sins of mankind. The color blue represents the heaven, the color of the healing power of God. She is also wearing rainbow nail polish, representing the rainbow God created after flooding the earth, giving a promise he would never do it again. Our devil Jongyang gets on a motorcycle and destroys the line between good and evil, but hereby only the full plates are blown off the table. The empty plates remain. So even though they can indulge in their sins freely now, it appears there is a catch and they might not get everything they want after all. They have now crossed the line and are giving in to their temptations, thinking it won't hurt if they just do it once. It is so thrilling after all. Just close your eyes this one time and let it consume you. We see the members dancing in the darkness under the pretty Garden of Eden flowers. They have literally descended down into the lower realm. Meanwhile, God Chio is losing her control over them and over herself, and she knows she must punish them, so she initiates the Great Flood. The glass falls and the red line is created. The next scene, they are at a train platform and they can choose between two different trains going in complete opposite directions. The choice between good and evil. Chio is laughing here because she's the one who has the most power at the end. God cannot be tempted by evil. After indulging in their sins, the members are being punished by God by sending the Great Flood and giving them cursed land. God cursed the snake to move on its belly and therefore eat dust forever. Mankind got cursed land that was hard to cultivate. They feel regretful and are asking for help because they cannot stop themselves. They don't want to do this anymore. They don't want to be guilty. They start to run back to the light. all except for Eve, as she feels so guilty for being the one that started it all. The devil also has regrets, as we see Jongyang running towards the light as well. In contrast to the others wearing bright colors, she is wearing gold, a color which represents both greed and triumph. She has succeeded in manipulating the members, but meanwhile forgot what is really important. The train passes through the empty cursed land as they are trying to escape the dust storm, which represents the removal of God's blessing. But eventually they can't escape it. Trains only go in one direction we are powerless to change. You cannot outrun God, and regret will never be able to erase the penalty of sin. In the end, we see the members in a gorge where the water from the flood must have passed through. In the final pose, they are holding their left shoulder, which is the spot where the devil lurks. They must accept this new sinful side of themselves, because there is no turning back.